6 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Do you follow your heart? I have. Am I happier now because of it? I think so. Am I richer now because of it? No. When I was a kid, I wanted to. I always followed my heart. I kind of never listened to advice that was like solid advice, like here, get this kind of a job. And I know guys who did, and they're living in beautiful homes, and they take these amazing vacations, and I see them on Facebook all the time. But I don't feel like I'm unhappy. I followed my heart. I will tell you this, that working in music and in radio and in the arts, it doesn't always pay well as far as your bank goes, but it pays wonderfully as far as your life experiences go and just enjoying life. I will never forget the time I was a little bit fretted out about money. And I was riding bicycles with you, Robin, and we were on one of these beautiful trails here in Florida, and we stopped the bicycles to take a break. We sat on the grass looking out at whatever was the landscape at that place, and I said to you, I don't know why I'm so fretting about money. The bills always get paid, which doesn't necessarily apply to everybody, but it did to me. And I wouldn't be any happier right now at this moment if I had all the money in the world or if I had no money at all. And right now at this moment, I'm happy. And I thought to myself, that's what it's like. That's what it's about. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about, to follow your heart. And it's hard to find somebody who agrees with that. But I think I have. And she's written a book, and she's on the phone. She's written a book called How to Live from Your Heart. Deepen relationships, develop creativity, and discover inner wisdom. Nanette Hucknall has those things. She is a psychotherapist, a career therapist. She's an artist herself. She's the co-founder of the Center for Peace Through Culture. She's the founder and president of Higher Self Yoga, and what an honor to have her on our show. Nanette Hucknall. Good morning, Nanette. How are you?
Good morning, and thank you so much, Larry and Robin, for having me on the show.
You know what? I imagine...
I just loved hearing your story about using your heart. And that's one of the reasons I wrote this book, because I don't think most people do that. Because we live in a Western society which is all mental.
Yeah.
Our schools are mental now, with all the testing the kids take. So I think that just hearing that you've followed your heart since you were a child, because believe me, children have that ability, it's just wonderful.
Yeah. Are you using a speakerphone by chance?
Yes, I am.
Can you undo that, because it's cutting off?
Okay. Is that better?
Oh, much better. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Better.
Yeah. Well, you know what? As the son of a father who really loved me, and a mother who they really loved me, but when they saw that I wanted to go into music, I remember I made my first record, and they said, after this, if it doesn't work out, why don't you get a real job? And I was like, well, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to do this the rest of my life, and it's what I did. But I don't make as much money as other people. But some people in my career do. It's just that I didn't luck out that way. So, but I don't think I'm unhappy. I feel real happy.
That's great. That's really great.
And I don't. And some people might say, I'd rather have money than be happy. So I don't know. Everybody has their own reasons for choosing their life paths. Tell me about yourself. I bet it smells really good where you are.
Oh yes, I'm right. Well, actually, we're in autumn right where I am. It's gorgeous.
Where are you?
I'm up in the Berkshire Mountains, up in Massachusetts, western Massachusetts, and I live in a lake, which is gorgeous. And now the trees around the lake have all turned colors and reflected in the water. And that was another thing that I like what you said about nature, is because most people don't have the time anymore to go walking in nature. They're so bloody busy.
Right.
And when they walk in nature and just look at the beauty that we have around us, you could feel it in your heart.
So
Pardon?
Nanette, who were you when you were a little girl? Were you the same Nanette that we are talking to right now? Were you just as much in love with nature? Did you see the world a little differently than your playmates, the other kids your age?
I think so. Yes. For one thing, my father was an artist, and I'm also an artist. And he was from England, and he had an English garden, and he would spend hours in there doing flowering, and he would show me the colors in the earth and the flowers around us. So I got that wonderful education from him. And I also lived more in the country rather than the city. So I really enjoyed all that. And when I was a kid, we had in school, I had a class in classical music when I was 10 years old that totally turned me on to classical music because we didn't play that at home.
Uh-huh.
And I also had an art class. We had history. We actually we didn't just read about history and take tests on history. We had to make up plays on history and had to put on costumes.
Oh, wow.
So it was a fun thing. So that introduced me right away to all the creativity and the inspiration.
That is creative, yes.
Which comes from the heart. This is all from the heart. By the way, the heart that I'm talking about is the heart center, right in the middle of your chest, where you experience love and you feel it when you love your family and your friends, where you feel the emotions, including negative emotions. You can feel it right in the center of your chest. And that's the heart I'm talking about. And it's a wonderful instrument that people don't understand how they can use. I'm
looking at your photograph, and my notes say that you're 83 years old, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but you do not look 83. And I think I have evidence that living from your heart keeps you youthful.
I think so. Because one of the things that I do, I teach higher self yoga, and how to connect to the higher self is through the heart. And the higher self is, for example, you have an ego self that puts you out in the world, that makes you make that money, that makes you do everything in life.
Right.
And then you have your lower self, which when you get angry and irritated. But you also have a higher self, which has all the positive qualities that you have. And beside that, the higher self knows you completely and can help you in your everyday life, in solving problems, psychologically. It's just a wonderful instrument to use. And I've been working with the higher self for, about 40 years now. So it's something that I feel very, very close to, and it's an important part of working with your heart that people don't know about.
Yeah.
And you've done several retreats and workshops that you've done. One was in Montreal.
Yeah, I do an annual one every year in Montreal on working with the higher self. And there's people from all over Canada and the United States. I even have somebody coming from England to that. That's my annual one. And I also do mini retreats, and I also have done a lot of workshops in the past with my business partner as part of the psychosynthesis training that I had in my past. And those have been workshops like how to work with your heart, balancing your feminine and masculine was another one that we did, developing your intuition. All these were workshops that I've done in the past.
If you've ever driven anywhere regularly, like I drive to my job every single day, and then you get a chance to actually walk that same route. In my case, I only work 4 miles from home, so it's not so difficult to walk it. But when you walk something that you've driven 100 or 1,000 times or whatever, you see it differently, don't you? When your feet are on the ground and your nose is in the air and your eyes can look at every blade of grass as you walk past it. It really, and I think that's a lesson that you're telling in your book, how to live from the heart. You don't have to be creative. You don't have to be an artist. You just have to stop and smell the roses, to use a cliche, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, now you mentioned that, I had a wonderful experience when I was in my 20s. A friend came up who was an architect, and I lived in New York City at the time. And we went for a walk in Upper East part of New York, and he started looking at things. He said, "Oh, look at that fence, and look at the way the brick here is around the wall. And look at this." And I had done that walk 1,000,000 times, and I had never done that. And it just totally opened my eyes to looking at things the way you're saying when you walk.
And I think that's how we live with our heart. It's kind of hard sometimes. It's like, we have a theme park here called Disney World. And if you just go to Disney World and you forget that you need to look at it through the eyes of a child. If you can allow yourself to just let go of being an adult and just see it like we have this new thing happening, this Disney firework thing. I want to go see it, and I'm going to forget that I'm an adult when I go. I'm just going to have fun and be a kid, you know?
Oh, that's great. Isn't that always part of Disney World, though? I used to go and always stay until the fireworks were done at night.
Yeah, right.
You really are really amazing. You just don't have positive positiveness in your soul, but you also have had hurdles to overcome. We were told you were diagnosed at the age of 52 with breast cancer.
Yes, and that was difficult. But when I look back at it, it was a wake-up call, because it made me really look about what I wanted to do in life. And at that time, I had a 40% chance to live, and I said, well, if I'm going to die, I want to do exactly what I want to do before I die. And that's when I started writing my books. That's when I started painting again, doing the things that I really loved.
Oh, wow.
And it changed my life. And fortunately, I'm still here.
Do you know,
I made it.
Can I share something with you, Nanette? Yesterday, Robin and I play music when we're not doing radio. And Robin plays the mandolin, and I play the accordion. And yesterday, we played at a nursing home here. And they call it high-functioning nursing home. In other words, these people do not have dementia. They maybe have a physical reason to need to be there, but they're mentally fine. And Robin and I played, and one of the ladies said to me before we started, she said, when you're done, can I play your accordion? And I said, oh, sure, of course. So when we were all done, I said to her, do you still want to play the accordion? So she said, yes. So I put the accordion on her lap. And it was kind of big for her. And she was kind of frail. And she took her frail fingers and she put those frail fingers on the keyboard, on the keys, and started pressing them in a way that told me that she had music in her soul.
Yeah, they were beautiful.
She knew how to hit the note. I don't think she had training. She just knew what sounded good. And I could tell, you don't have to have music lessons to be able to make music. You just have to hit the notes that make sense to you. And I was so touched by that. And I think that's exactly what you're saying, to be the person who you really are at your core.
Yes, definitely. Most definitely. That's a wonderful story.
So how did the book come to be? Did you want this book to teach those of us who don't get that to understand that very lesson right there?
Yes, most definitely. And, it came about because I've been working with the heart a long time, and I've done a couple of workshops on it. But the main reason, I think, is because when I did my career therapy, one of the first things I do with a client is I have them connect with their heart, and I do that by having them focus their attention in the middle of their chest. And then they feel something. They feel either a warmth or a movement, or they might even see a symbol. And when they have that connection, and they all able to do it, I said, I have a long list of categories. And I said, I want you to put this category in your heart and ask, is my vocation in this category? And I said, let your heart respond. And they would sometimes they would get absolutely nothing. I say, I'm not feeling anything. I said, I crossed that category off. And they would feel something, and I put a check mark on that. And that's how I started off all my career therapy work. And I realized in doing that, it was just so powerful, because the heart does know exactly what you should be doing.
Wow.
You had mentioned earlier in our interview, you had used the word balance. How can people stop from being stressed and balance their lives? Because we do have to make money to pay the bills, to put food on the table for the children, and to make sure they're taken care of too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's important. I think the mind is very important, and that's where the ego self comes in. To really get out in the world, bring in the food, do all of that, and the mind is very important. But what the book talks about, and I have a lot of exercises in the book to help with this, is how to use your mind and your heart together to bring the best balance. For example, if you're working on a project and you put the project out and all the ideas down, then after you've done that, you just focus on those ideas and put those in your heart and just let it sit there. And then you suddenly might have an additional thought which deepens that project or changes it. A good example I can give you is years ago I had a business called Evolving Solutions with my business partner, and the two of us would do team building in corporations. And we developed a process called heart storming. So we would go into a corporation and get a group of people, mostly men, by the way, and they would maybe be working on coming up with a solution for something, and they would do brainstorming. And we'd throw out ideas, we write them on a blackboard, and then we'd go through the ideas, and then we would, eliminate the ones that didn't seem that were really good enough. And then we say to them, okay, now we want you to take each one of these ideas and put them in your heart. Just close your eyes, put it in your heart. And, of course, they were all astonished when we said this. I said, let's just try it. Just see if it works. And so they did. And they came up with deepening whatever that idea was or changing the direction of it.
Wow.
And everyone that did it said, this is fabulous.
Wow.
They hadn't considered doing that.
Wow, that is awesome. Nanette, we need to take a little break, but don't go away because we want to continue talking to you. Nanette V. Hucknall is our guest up in Massachusetts, somewhere in the mountains. Sounds fun. Sounds pretty.
Berkshire Mountains.
The book is called How to Live from Your Heart. I love this topic. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Wednesday, a morning shower in spots, especially along the coast. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny. Our high today between 82 and 86. A mainly clear Wednesday night, low 63 in a few woodland spots, but 71 near the coast. Thursday will be partly sunny with a chance of a shower, high 82 to 86. Friday, partly sunny, high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
All right, 24 minutes after 10 o'clock. Beautiful looking Wednesday morning and not a cloud in the sky, not from my perspective anyway. I don't know what's out there the other side of the building. Nanette Hucknall is on the phone. How to Live from Your Heart is her book. Deepen relationships, develop creativity, and discover inner wisdom. Nanette, I wanted to ask you about the relationships part of this. In a relationship, you live from your heart, but you also have to live with somebody else's heart, and they might have their own dreams and their own aspirations, and you kind of have to make sure that it all works. How do you advise, like somebody younger looking at the book? Does it help them with that?
Well, it definitely goes into a lot of things about relationships and how to handle relationships. I think the main thing that I've seen, because I've done some couples work, is that people don't really communicate to each other how they feel. And when they get into arguments, they just get into arguments and they hurt each other with what they say, and then they get defensive and it goes back and forth. So it's about really, when you're working with your heart, even if you're feeling hurt and upset with something, is to take a few breaths, link with your heart, and disconnect from those emotions so that when you respond to the person, it comes from a place that's calm, so that you can really start to express how you feel. Instead of attacking somebody in an argument, it's important to really come out of your heart and say, when you said this, it made me feel this way. So it's not really hitting the person over the head. The other thing that I go into a lot is how to mirror somebody. When someone comes to you for advice or to talk to you, usually what happens is you immediately give advice to that person what you would do. And you're not really connecting to how this person is feeling.
Yeah, right.
So when you make that connection first, then you start to listen, and you listen with the heart. And often when you do that, what person is saying to you isn't really what they mean. It could be something much more deeper than that. So instead of just coming back with what your opinion is, it's important to just listen and come back with a question or a restatement that makes that person think more or feel more about what they need to know. So you help them resolve their problem. You don't tell them how to do it. So I have a lot of material in the book on how to do that, how to let go of your opinion, how to be in a place where you're really listening and to really feel that connection in your heart with somebody. It's difficult. It's very difficult. You know, everybody has their own, their own viewpoints, their own independence, their own needs. But it's about expressing those needs.
And that's an astutely keen observation, because sometimes a person just wants somebody else to tell them what they should do, what direction to go, when you absolutely have to do it yourself.
Yes, very definitely. And many people would love to do that, to oblige to tell you what to do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you are a fascinating lady, Nanette. Thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to us. Thank you for writing the book. I have a copy of the book. If I have a listener who would like the copy that was sent to us, you are welcome to it. I'll leave it here for you with your name on it. It's called How to Live from Your Heart. Nanette Hucknall is who you will look up if you want to buy the book. Nanette, do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's NanetteVHucknall.com.
Okay. Okay.
I think that anybody running for a political office needs to pick up your book, because they're just so, ingrained in what they're doing, and they think they're so totally right with everything that they have to learn just to relax, and that there are others out there that can absolutely help.
Yes, most definitely. I agree with that one.
Yeah, really, Robin. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. That's who needs this. But and one quick thing I wanted to add, when we were talking about relationships, I think everything you said applied not only to your partner, to your romantic partner, but also to your children and to your mother and to everybody, and your coworkers as well. I could hear. I was trying to apply what you were saying in my mind to all the different relationships that we have.
Yes, most definitely. And I have a whole chapter on how to work in terms of working with coworkers.
That's important. That's very important.
Nanette, thank you for being on the air with us. Have a great. It looks like you're getting into some cool weather right now, so enjoy the cool weather. And I kind of am jealous for your cool weather.
And pretty.
I'm Florida. It's wintertime.
Yeah, I know. NanetteVHucknall.com. I just went to the website. A nice looking website, by the way. Thank you for being on the air with us, Nanette.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we will be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Wednesday, a morning shower in spots, especially along the coast. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny. Our high today between 82 and 86. Mainly clear Wednesday night, low 63 and a few woodland spots, 71 at the coast. Thursday will be partly sunny with a chance of a shower, high 82 to 86. Friday, partly sunny, high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Ahead of the final debate tonight, Hillary Clinton's team says she's preparing, while her opponent, speaking in Colorado, told the crowd,
"She's home sleeping and I'm working."
Donald Trump has got a couple of special guests who are going to be with him tonight at the debate. First of all, Pat Smith, who is the mother of Benghazi victim Sean Smith, and Malik Obama, the half-brother of President Obama, will be there.
Fox's John Roberts. An aid group says thousands of Iraqis are fleeing to Syria to escape the fight to retake Mosul from ISIS.
The real issue, though, is what is going to happen when they get into the city itself. We have received some material from people on the inside working very covertly at enormous risk to their own lives that show the tank traps that the so-called Islamic State fighters are putting down to try and slow the advance.
Sam Kiley with Fox sister network Sky News. Fox News, we report. You decide.
America is taking the lead in energy,
leading the world in oil and natural gas production. I vote to keep it going. With the right policies, we can produce, refine, and supply
more oil and natural gas.
And more abundant energy means more affordable energy for American families.
A more secure America.
Jobs,
opportunity, and economic growth
for our children
and grandchildren.
That's why this election,
I'm voting
for American energy.
Learn more at voteforenergy.org.
Join us and become an energy voter.
Brought to you by American Petroleum Institute.
When I listen to Audible, I'm not cooking dinner for one. I'm on horseback, galloping across the Scottish moors towards my one true love. There, through the mist, I see my beloved, kilt flapping in the breeze. The fibers of his shirt struggle against his bulging muscles as he takes me from my horse and my frittata.
Go to audible.com/actnow and your first download is free. Audible. Stories that surround you.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought